The hall was massive, built from dark stone and glowing metal. Thousands of alien leaders filled the seats, their eyes fixed on the center. The Galactic Council chamber had never been this full. Every voice spoke at once. Shouts, accusations, warnings. The air buzzed with fear and anger. Earth must be punished, shouted a lizard-like creature with gold armor. They broke the peace code, yelled another with glowing eyes and sharp wings. A huge blue-skinned warrior slammed his fist on the table. Humans are wild animals. They fight everything, even each other. The leader of the council, a tall silver-robed being with no mouth and 6 glowing eyes, raised his hand. Silence. The voices stopped. The room froze. The accused has arrived, he said calmly. Bring in the human. The doors at the far end creaked open. A dark hallway stood behind them. Footsteps echoed. 1, 2, 3. A single human walked into the light. He wore no armor, no weapon, just a plain black suit. His face was calm. His eyes, cold and sharp, scanned the room. That was all it took. The room fell silent. No one dared to speak. Some leaned back. Others whispered to each other. Is that him? An insectoid delegate muttered. The one from the Ice War? Said another. No, he's older now. The human walked forward, slow and steady. His hands were behind his back. He did not look afraid. He looked bored. He stepped onto the center platform. A blue light scanned him from head to toe. He didn't flinch. The council leader spoke again. You are John Eriks, citizen of Earth? Yes, the human replied. His voice was low, but every alien heard it clearly. Representative of Earth, and Earth's final warning. Gasps spread across the hall. Earth stands accused of developing forbidden technology, the leader said. You're also charged with violating Article 9 military expansion without notice. Do you deny these charges? No, John said simply. Whispers broke out again. He didn't deny it. The silver-robed leader tilted his head. Then you admit Earth is guilty? I admit Earth is ready, John replied. Ready to defend itself, ready to respond to threats, and ready to show the galaxy why it was a mistake to underestimate us. The insect-like creature, General Thirax of the Krill, Dominion, stood and pointed. You threaten us now? Here? In the council? No, John said. I came to explain. Explain what? Why this galaxy should be grateful. Earth showed restraint. Another wave of murmurs. Thirax shouted. Earth destroyed the Tenzari fleet. 40 warships. No survivors. John nodded. Correct. They attacked one of our colonies. We responded. You responded with total destruction. Yes, John said. We thought that was the language you'd understand. A tentacled diplomat hissed. Is this how humans speak peace, with death? John's eyes slowly moved across the room. Peace doesn't mean weakness. Earth has known war for thousands of years. Peace is something we had to build with blood, fire, and loss. Don't lecture us about peace. The chamber grew quiet again. An old plant-like being spoke gently. You're just one man. Why should we listen to you? John smiled, just slightly. Because I'm not just one man. I am Earth's answer. The council asked to meet a human. You didn't ask for a soldier or a diplomat. You asked for the one who makes the galaxy listen. A smaller alien leaned forward. Who are you really? He took a slow breath. I am the one who ended the last Martian rebellion in 2 days. I am the one who walked alone into the Ice War and returned without a scar. I'm the reason 3 warlords disappeared without a trace. He paused. I'm not a legend. I'm a message. For a moment, no one moved. No one spoke. Then General Thirax stepped forward, voice shaking with rage. You humans always claim to be more than you are. You act like gods, but you're just dangerous beasts. Dangerous? John said, raising one eyebrow. Yes, we are. But not without reason. The council leader said, "You said you came to explain." "Then explain now." John nodded once. "You think humans are violent because we fight. But we fight because we had to. Our planet tried to kill us every day. Storms, heat, disease, predators. Ourselves. We learned to survive not by being kind, but by being clever, fast, ruthless. That's how we lived." He stepped forward. "You look at me and see one man, but Earth made me. My mind was trained by survivors. My body by scientists who understood how to make a perfect response unit. I carry the knowledge of our past and the warning of our future." He looked up, slowly scanning the alien leaders. "If Earth ever chooses war, it will not come with ships first. It will come with people like me, quiet, patient, deadly." Thirax snarled. "You expect us to just believe this threat?" "It's not a threat," John replied. "It's history. You came after us first. You whispered about Earth behind closed doors. You tested our borders. You tried to control our trade. And when we pushed back, you cried foul. You're not as special as you think." The winged alien shouted. John's voice dropped lower. "We didn't think we were special. We thought we were alone. But then we found you. And suddenly we had to catch up. Fast, we studied every alien weapon, every tactic, every weakness. We prepared for the day the galaxy came knocking. And what happens now?" asked the council leader. John smiled again, calm, dangerous. "Now? Earth listens, Earth watches, and Earth decides." The lights flickered. A hologram flashed above the chamber. Everyone looked up. A live image dot. It showed the space above the council planet. Hundreds of small dark shapes slowly appeared. Earth ships. They had been cloaked. Now they were visible. Every alien stared in shock. The ships didn't fire. They didn't move. They just floated, watching. A voice played across the council speakers. It was Earth's High Chancellor. "This is Earth. We sent one man. We did not send war. We sent a final message. Hurt him, and we respond. But if you listen, then we listen too. This is your moment to choose." The voice ended. Silence again. John stood still. "We don't want war. We want respect. If you give us peace, we'll return it. If you give us fear, we'll match it." Thirax's mouth opened, then closed. No words came out. The council leader stood and spoke slowly. "This meeting is over. Earth will not be punished today." John nodded. "Wise choice." He turned and began walking back the way he came. Every eye followed him. No one stopped and no one moved. He reached the door. Stopped. Turned. One last look at the powerful beings who once laughed at Earth. Then he stepped into the shadows and was gone. The council hall stayed silent for a long time. After that. No one had questions. No one dared. And above the planet, Earth's ships slowly faded back into the black. Waiting. Watching. Listening. The chamber lights dimmed as the council returned from recess. Whispers filled the air. Delegates from every alien race sat with tense expressions. Some looked nervous. Others looked angry. A few simply looked confused. John Eric stood calmly in the center once again, his hands behind his back, as if he were waiting for a bus, not facing a galaxy that feared him. The council leader, his 6 glowing eyes staring down, spoke in a flat voice. "Representative of Earth, you have been allowed to speak further. You claim Earth has been misunderstood. You claim to bring truth. Then speak now." John nodded once. "You want to understand Earth?" he asked. "Then you need to hear our story." An insect-like alien scoffed. "We know your story. War, hunger, self-destruction. You burned your own forests, polluted your own oceans." John looked at the creature calmly. "You know numbers, data, but you don't know us." He took a slow step forward. The platform beneath him pulsed with blue light, recording every word, every heartbeat. I was born during what we call the Ash Decade. Fires covered most of our planet. Smoke choked cities. The sun disappeared behind black skies. People lived in underground bunkers, eating dried roots and canned food. I was 5 years old when I first saw someone die. He had no water. The room went quiet. Even the delegates who hated humans leaned forward. I lived with others, maybe 30, of us in a broken building. We shared blankets and stories, no adults, just kids. We hunted rats and birds. We drank melted ice when we could find it. A cold-looking alien spoke sharply. "And you think that makes you strong?" "No," John said. "It made us angry. At the world, at fate, at each other." But slowly, something changed. We stopped blaming. We started fixing. He paused. His eyes stared at no one, but his voice stayed strong. A boy named Kellen built a water filter using garbage. A girl named Mira taught us how to catch heat using old glass and stone. We didn't become powerful. We became smart, together. Three-eyed alien whispered. "How did your species survive that?" "We evolved through pain," John said. "You come from peaceful stars, advanced cities, stable air. We come from chaos. Every human alive today carries the memory of struggle." He pointed to the hall's ceiling. "Your worlds made you comfortable. Ours made us clever." The council leader leaned forward. "And yet you destroyed your enemies without mercy." John turned his head. "You call them enemies. We call them invaders. You think Earth started these fights?" The silver-robed leader remained silent. "No," John said. "Earth only responded." He raised a hand. A small device in his palm blinked once. A projection appeared mid-air above the chamber of video. Alien ships, sleek and shining, filled the sky over Earth's surface. They dropped pods. Explosions followed. "This was your first contact," John said. "You came to enslave us, not to greet us." Gasps spread across the room. A horned diplomat growled. "That was the old empire. We were not part of that decision." "And yet no one stopped them," John replied. The video changed. It showed humans, some young, some old, standing in craters holding crude weapons. They looked dirty, weak, but in their eyes was fire. We fought back with nothing. And we won. Another alien stood. "You expect us to believe Earth defeated a starfaring empire with sticks and courage?" John pressed another button. The image changed again. Now it showed Earth's new warships, sleek, powerful, and terrifying. "You attacked a weak Earth, but you left behind your ships, your weapons, your technology. And we learned faster than you thought possible." A thin, metallic being asked, "How did you learn so fast?" John turned to him. "Because every human is trained by pain. We don't just learn to survive, we learn to win." He took a deep breath. "After the invasion, we didn't forget. We studied your tactics. We reverse-engineered your weapons. We rebuilt faster than any species before us. In 50 years, we turned from prey into hunters." The room buzzed again. Some delegates looked at each other, wide-eyed. Others looked pale. John lowered his hand. The projections disappeared. A silence hung in the air. Then the insectoid general, Thirax, stood up again. "You still speak with pride about death and battle. You think that makes you worthy?" John shook his head. "No, I don't think war makes anyone worthy. But you all need to understand something. Earth never wanted to become this." Thirax snarled. "Then why continue building weapons?" John's tone turned colder. "Because the galaxy is still watching Earth like a cornered animal. We tried to join your systems peacefully. You gave us trade walls. You tried to control our culture. You sent spies. And when we pushed back, you called us monsters." An old, soft-spoken alien leaned forward. "Then tell us, John Eriks, what does Earth want now?" He paused. For the first time his face softened, just a little. "We want peace," he said. "But not the kind of peace you force on weaker species. We want respect. We want space to grow. We want to be heard, not feared." He looked across the room. "But if fear is all the galaxy understands, then Earth will speak in that language." A soft blue light blinked on the edge of the platform. The council leader stood. "Enough for today," he said. "We will consider this testimony." John nodded once, "Then consider it carefully." He turned again, walking slowly back toward the exit. Before he reached the door, a voice called out, "Wait." John stopped. It was the plant-like diplomat. Her voice was quiet, almost gentle. "You speak of pain and history. But what of the future?" John turned to face her. "Future depends on the galaxy's next choice." He walked through the doorway and vanished from sight. This time, the chamber remained silent long after he left. No laughter, no arguments. Only thought, because now they understood. Earth's deadliest weapon was not a bomb or a ship. It was memory. It was survival. It was the man who just walked out of the room and the billions more like him waiting on a blue planet far away. The Galactic Council chamber was unusually quiet. No debates. No shouting. No movement. The delegates sat still in their seats, watching the center of the platform. The memory of the human's last speech still hung in the air like smoke from a battlefield. There was something about him, John Eriks, that didn't fit the usual profile of a human. He wasn't just strong. He wasn't just clever. He was hiding something. The silver-robed council leader's voice broke the silence. "Representative of Earth," he said, "your words have shaken this chamber. But one question remains unanswered." John Eriks stood, tall, hands behind his back again. His dark eyes studied the council with the calm of someone who had seen far too much. The council leader continued. "Earth's rise in power was too fast, too organized, too perfect. You say you evolved quickly. You say your species adapted through pain. But there's more, isn't there?" A ripple moved through the delegates. John said nothing. The leader stepped down from his tall podium, coming closer to the center. "There's a secret, something Earth did in the shadows. Something forbidden." John finally spoke, his voice quiet but sharp. "You already know what I'm going to say. You just want it confirmed. Say it anyway." He looked around. "You won't like the answer." The insectoid General Thirax slammed his clawed hand on the table. "Tell us, what was Earth hiding?" John sighed, then reached into his jacket. The room tensed, but he didn't pull out a weapon. Instead, he revealed a small crystal device. It glowed softly. "This," he said, "is the Omega Archive." The council leader's eyes widened. That project was shut down. It was erased from all galactic records. "Only from your records," John said. "Earth kept it." Another wave of gasps. The metallic diplomat hissed. Omega was banned for a reason. It was a military experiment, a creation project. It was meant to design the perfect living weapon. John nodded. It was more than that. It was humanity's answer to the galaxy's fear. He pressed a button on the crystal. A hologram flickered to life above the chamber. Strange images flashed: files, DNA strands, test logs, glowing bodies inside glass tubes. After Earth was invaded, we recovered alien tech. Not just weapons, but data. And that data showed us something terrifying. We were not ready, not even close. So a secret program began, hidden deep under Antarctica. Not even Earth's own government knew all the details. The room watched, silent and stunned. The images changed, showing children running in dark tunnels, training in extreme weather, lifting metal objects twice their size. These were not ordinary humans, John said. They were designed, rebuilt. Their pain levels were changed. Their minds trained in logic and survival. They were raised without fear. Monsters, whispered the winged delegate. No, John said. Weapons, he stepped forward. They were created not to conquer, but to wait, in case Earth was ever attacked again. Thirax shouted, You hid this from the galaxy. From your allies. We had no allies, John replied coldly. Only watchers. Only empires waiting for us to fall again. One of the older delegates asked, How many of these weapons were made? John paused. 9,000. The entire chamber froze. 9,000 enhanced humans, the council leader said slowly. Where are they now? John looked him directly in the eye. Sleeping. The silence returned heavier now. What do you mean? Someone asked. They were placed in cryovaults, John said. Spread across moons, planets, and orbital stations, trained, preserved, ready, each one placed under a single command protocol. The council leader's voice dropped. Whose command? John tapped his chest. Mine. Chaos broke out. Shouts filled the air. You lie. This is madness. You created an army in the dark. You brought war to our doorstep. But John didn't flinch. He let them yell. Then he raised one hand. The lights dimmed. The hologram changed again. Now it showed a planet, the council's own homeworld. On screen, red dots blinked across the map. These are vault signals, John. Side, your world has 5. Just beneath your capital. Everyone stared at the blinking lights. The council leader spoke slowly, his voice trembling. Are they active? No, John said, not yet. A quiet gasp moved through the room like wind. You would threaten us with this? Thirax shouted. Double quotes, no, John said. I'm warning you. These vaults were placed decades ago, before peace talks. Before Earth joined the Galactic Treaty. They've never been used, not once. The plant-like diplomat asked, Why show us now? Because, John said, you asked about Earth's secret. You demanded the truth. And because Earth is tired of being treated like a child with a stick, the council leader narrowed his eyes. And what happens if we remove those vaults? If we dig them up? They'll activate, John said. Everyone froze again. It's a dead man system, he explained. If Earth or its envoy is harmed, the system wakes the soldiers. Each one has one mission: defend Earth's interests. By any means. You're mad, someone whispered. No, John said. We're prepared. The room felt colder now. He looked around the chamber. You all thought Earth's strength came from its weapons. You were wrong. Our true power was always in what we hid, in what we were willing to become if pushed. The council leader took a slow breath. Why admit this now? John's voice softened slightly. Because peace can't be built on lies. If we are to move forward, you must understand what stands behind Earth's calm face. The galaxy has pushed Earth for too long. Pressed it, feared it. We responded the only way we knew how, with quiet fire. The leader looked at the blinking red dots one more time, then turned to the other delegates. Leave us, all of you. Gasps filled the room. But this is council business now. One by one, the delegates left the chamber. Even Thirax obeyed, though his glare burned through the walls. Only John and the council leader remained. I believe you, the leader said at last. And I fear what will happen if others do not, John nodded. Then don't give them a reason. The leader walked slowly toward him. If one day Earth decides to awaken those 9,000, they won't, John said, unless the galaxy decides Earth doesn't deserve to exist. The two stood in silence for a long moment. Then the council leader looked up. You are not like other humans. I'm the result of Earth's pain, John replied. And its promise. He turned once more to leave. As he reached the doorway, the leader asked, Do the others know who you are? John paused. No, not even Earth's current rulers. I was buried with the others, only awoken when a message came from this council. That message said, "Send someone Earth trusts with its future," so they woke me. He stepped into the shadows and disappeared once again. The door closed behind him. And for the first time in years, the council leader truly feared what the future might bring, because now he knew the galaxy hadn't seen Earth's worst yet. The metal walls of the waiting chamber pulsed with quiet energy. John Eric stood alone in the center, hands behind his back. His eyes were closed, but his ears caught everything. Footsteps above, mechanical sounds behind the walls. A soft hiss of pressurized gas under the floor. He wasn't nervous. He was used to this kind of silence, the kind that always came before something terrible. Outside the chamber, two council guards stood stiffly. They were tall, armored beings from the Kravik species, known for their discipline and strength. Their weapons hummed softly, ready to fire. Inside the council building, things were changing. Fear had turned into panic. John had shared the secret of the Omega units. He had revealed the truth Earth had buried deep for years. Now some leaders were scared. Others were angry. A few wanted him gone. "Are we doing this?" One of the guards asked quietly. "The order is clear," the other replied. "He leaves. Here in a body bag, but he doesn't even have a weapon." The first one glanced at the door. "That's what makes it scarier." A soft tone rang through the wall. The door slid open. "Bring him in," said a voice through the comms. The guard stepped in. "Council wants you again," one said to John. John opened his eyes. Of course. He followed them without resistance. But as they walked, he noticed something different. The halls were too quiet. Doors were sealed. And the guards' footsteps were slightly out of sync, like they were walking toward something they didn't want to see. When they reached the chamber entrance, John stopped. "Before I go in," he said, "tell me, do you believe in last chances?" One guard hesitated. "What?" "I'm giving you yours," John said calmly. The guard frowned. "Keep walking." The door opened. John stepped inside. The chamber was empty. No council members. No audience. Just 6 black armored machines standing in a circle, auto-kill units. They were illegal in most parts of the galaxy. Controlled by neural links. No mercy. No speech. Only precision. John took one slow breath. "So this is how you want it," he whispered. Behind him, the door closed and locked. From above, the council's voice spoke. It wasn't the main leader, it was Thirax, the insectoid general. "You should not have come here, human. The galaxy does not negotiate with weapons." John looked up. "No, it tries to erase them." "You are too dangerous," Thirax continued. "You and your kind, your secrets, your threats. We gave you a chance, but now we choose survival." John smiled slightly. "Then you've chosen extinction. Kill him." The machines moved instantly. 6 shadows rushed in from every angle, their energy blades glowing red. John didn't run. He closed his eyes, and when he opened them again, the machines were already too close. But he was faster. He spun low under the first blade, grabbing the arm of one machine and twisting it until it broke. A second blade came toward his head. He ducked and used the broken arm to block it. Sparks flew. He leapt onto the shoulders of the third unit, smashed its control node with his elbow, and flipped backwards to the floor. 3 machines fell, disabled within seconds. The others paused. Then attacked again. John ran up the wall, kicked off it, and landed behind another. With 2 quick hits to the base of its spine, the machine went still. The 5th unit stabbed toward his chest, but John twisted sideways, letting the blade slice through his sleeve. He grabbed its wrist, snapped it sideways, and pulled it into the 6th bot swing. They crashed into each other. Now all 6 machines were broken piles of metal. John stood in the center, breathing calmly. No human should move like that. Someone whispered through the speaker, "I'm not just a human." John replied. Alarms rang suddenly. Outside the door, dozens of soldiers ran through the halls. "Full lockdown, someone Shouted, "He survived the units. Send everything we have." Inside the chamber, John pulled a thin rod from his jacket. He pressed it, and it grew into a sleek, black staff. The wall behind him exploded open. More attack bots rushed in 10, 20, maybe 30. John didn't wait this time. He moved like water, like fire, like lightning. Every step was calculated. Every strike was perfect. Metal flew. Sparks danced. He didn't kill. He disabled. But nothing could touch him. Outside the council building, ships began to rise into the sky. Earth's fleet, which had remained silent for days, now moved. Messages flooded the council's emergency systems. "Your target has been marked. Harm our envoy, and Earth responds." Countdown, 60 seconds. Inside, Thorax watched the fight with shaking hands. This was supposed to be clean. He muttered. The council leader entered the control room, furious. "What have you done?" Thorax turned. "We had no choice. He was a threat." The leader's eyes glowed brighter. "You just declared war on Earth." "No." But he didn't finish the sentence. Behind them, the screen went black. A single message replaced the image. Transmission from John Eriks. They pressed play. John stood calmly, not a scratch on him. "You tried to kill me," he said. "I expected better." He looked directly into the camera. "I could destroy your whole building right now. I could send a signal, and Earth ships would turn this city to glass. But I won't." He paused. "Not because I can't, because I'm better than the people who sent me here." Another pause. "This was your test. You failed." The message ended. Silence followed. Back in the chamber, John walked calmly through the ruined hallway. Doors opened before him. No one tried to stop him now. The guards who had once looked so proud stepped aside. Even the machines powered down. He walked through the main gate and looked up at the sky. Earth's ships hovered above, still silent, still waiting. He pulled out a communicator. "Stand down," he said. A pause. "Are you sure, sir?" "Yes, I'm alive." "They're not worth the fuel." He turned it off, then walked toward the launch pad without looking back. Inside the council building, the leader of the council finally spoke. "There are two kinds of peace," he said to Thorax. "The one we make with trust, and the one forced on us by fear. We just chose the second." Thorax said nothing. He knew the truth now. John Eriks was not just a man. He was Earth's answer to everything the galaxy feared, and they had just learned the hard way trying to kill him was the worst mistake they could have made. The galaxy had never seen such a message before. It started as a whisper, a soft echo on all communication channels, but soon it spread like wildfire. Earth had sent a warning, a message not just to the Galactic Council, but to every empire, every race, every ship that dared to cross its borders. High above the Council's capital planet, a giant hologram played in every public square. The face on the screen was calm and steady. It was Earth's High Chancellor. "This is Earth." The voice said clearly, "We sent one man to speak for us. You tried to kill him. You failed. Now listen carefully." Across the council building, delegates paused their work to watch. The usual arguments and noise fell away. The message had weight. It carried history. It carried truth. John Eriks stood before the council again. His face was tired but determined. He spoke slowly, so no one would miss a single word. "Earth has given the galaxy chances," he said. "Chances for peace. Chances for respect. We waited, we watched, we hoped." The council leader frowned. "You speak as if you trust us." John smiled, not warmly. "Trust is earned, not given." A sudden chime interrupted the room. A security officer rushed in. "Sir, Earth's ships are moving." Cloaked ships appearing at multiple border systems. A murmur spread. John's eyes narrowed. "They have been waiting for this moment." Thorax stood up. "You're bluffing. Earth cannot threaten the galaxy with just a few ships." John shook his head. These are not just ships, they carry a warning. He tapped a button on his wrist communicator. A live feed showed dozens of Earth's warships slowly uncloaking above distant planets, controlled by the Krill Dominion, the Vexery Confederacy, and others. The ships did not attack. They simply floated, silent and watching. The Council. Leader's voice was low. What do they want? John replied, they want one thing: peace on Earth's terms, respect, no interference. No lies, your terms are demands, Thirax growled. Threats. John's voice grew colder. They are not threats. They are warnings. He looked each delegate in the eyes. If you harm our envoy, Earth will respond. Not just with words, but with action. Suddenly, a transmission burst through the Council's secure lines. It was from a small, unknown warship captured from Earth long ago, but now in orbit of the Vixery homeworld. The ship's commander spoke directly. Earth's final warning. We have orders to fire if the envoy is harmed. We await command. The room erupted in chaos. Aliens shouted, debated, argued. Is this war? One whispered. John raised a hand. It is only war if you choose to make it one. The Council leader stepped forward. Earth's message is clear. We must act carefully. But Thirax was not convinced. We cannot bow to threats. We are a galaxy of proud species. John's eyes flashed. Pride will be your downfall. Suddenly, alarms blared. Ship detected, a technician said. Unknown vessel entering Council space. Everyone turned toward the main screen. A fast-moving human warship appeared. It was sleek, black, and silent. It did not respond to calls. John's expression did not change. It's not here to attack, he said. It's here to watch. The ship glided past the capital planet, broadcasting one simple message. Earth is watching. The Council leader sighed. We are running out of time. John nodded. Then decide. Choose peace or choose war. But know this: Earth will not wait forever. The chamber fell silent again. Outside, Earth's ships continued their slow watch. The galaxy had received its final warning, and it ignored it. The room was small and dimly lit. John Eric sat alone in a metal chair. His eyes were closed. His breathing steadied. Around him, strange machines hummed softly. Thin wires connected to a metal band wrapped around his head. He was inside a mind scanner, a device used by the Galactic Council's best psychics. They wanted to know everything. His thoughts, his memories, his secrets. Begin the scan, a voice ordered through the speakers. A soft blue light filled the room. Inside John's mind, shadows danced. He was back in the underground tunnels of Earth's ash decade, the time of fire and ruin. He saw children huddled together, sharing warmth and hope. A woman's voice whispered, survive, learn, fight. The images changed. Now he was a young man, training with others, pushed beyond pain, beyond fear. Suddenly, the scene shifted again. He was standing in a dark room filled with glowing machines. A scientist spoke. We must create the perfect mind, one that never falters. John's eyes snapped open. He looked around. The Council's psychic, a tall, thin alien with many eyes, studied him through a glass window. Your mind is strong, she said, but you hide something. John smiled faintly. I hide many things. The psychic's voice grew serious. The galaxy fears what Earth has become, but it fears something else about you, something unseen. John leaned forward. What? The psychic hesitated. Your mind is not just strong, it fights battles that we cannot see. You carry enemies inside your own head. John's expression did not change. Who? He asked quietly. Memories. Fears, voices, she said. You are locked in a battle that lasts every moment, against your own pain and something darker. John reached into his jacket and pulled out a small device. This is my mind shield. The psychic's eyes widened. You built this? John nodded. Years of war taught me to protect not just my body, but my mind. She studied the device. It's powerful. But it cannot stop everything. John's voice dropped. It never stops. Because the enemy is inside. The psychic asked, "Is it fear?" "No," John said. "It's doubt. Anger. Memories of failure." Suddenly, the room shook. An alarm blared. "Security breach," a voice shouted. John's eyes narrowed. "They're trying to break in." The psychic's voice trembled. "Your mind is under attack." John closed his eyes again. Inside his mind, shadows grew darker. Voices whispered lies. "You are weak. You will fail. Your people will die." John fought back. He pictured the children from the Ash Decade. He remembered Kellen's water filter, Mira's glass and stone traps. He saw himself walking into battle alone and returning victorious. Voices grew louder, but so did his will. He stood tall. The psychic whispered, "You are stronger than the darkness." John opened his eyes. The alarm stopped. The door slid open. The council leader entered. "You survived," he said. John nodded. "I always do." The leader looked at him carefully. "This battle inside you, it shows Earth's true strength." John smiled. "It's not just strength, it's survival." The leader sighed. "You carry the weight of a world." John stood and prepared to leave. "Remember," the leader said quietly, "sometimes the hardest battles are those we fight inside." John nodded again. "I will remember." He walked into the light. The unseen battle would continue, but so would he. The hall was tense. John Eric stood facing the council again, but this time the mood was different. The calm discussions had turned into something darker. "You gave us warnings," the council leader said, voice low and tired. "But your fleet remains in orbit. Your ships have not fired." "Why?" John's eyes were steady. "Because mercy still lives on Earth." A murmur ran through the room. Thirax growled, "Mercy is weakness. You show it now, but what happens when mercy ends?" John turned to him. "Then the galaxy will see what happens when Earth stops holding back." The council leader raised a hand. "Peace is still possible. If only you would lower your weapons." John's voice was firm. "We have lowered them for too long. But peace built on lies is no peace." Suddenly, alarms echoed throughout the building. Lights flashed red. Unknown vessel approaching. A technician shouted. The main screen showed a large ship breaking through the galaxy's edge. Its colors were dark, its shape aggressive. "An attack?" someone asked. John's face hardened. "No, this is the last chance." The vessel docked in the council station. A single figure entered the chamber. A being draped in black armor, eyes cold like ice. "I am Commander Vrax," the stranger said. "I come with a message." The room fell silent. Vrax's voice was hard. "Your warnings are ignored. Your mercy will be tested, and when it ends, there will be no second chances." John met Vrax's gaze. "We hoped for peace. But if you bring war, know this Earth will not hesitate." Vrax smiled coldly. "We know. That is why you must fall." He signaled his guards. Suddenly, blasters fired. John dove behind a pillar. The council guards returned fire, but the attackers were fast and brutal. Smoke filled the room. Cries of pain echoed. John rolled out and charged. His staff clashed with a guard's blade. The fight was fierce, but John fought with a strength beyond normal. He disarmed one attacker. Then another. Vrax moved toward the council leader, weapon drawn. John blocked just in time. "You want to end this now?" John said. "Then prepare for what mercy hides." He pushed a button on his staff. A pulse of energy swept the room. Vrax staggered, eyes wide. "Impossible," he hissed. John stepped closer. "Mercy is a shield, but when it breaks, it becomes a weapon." The remaining attackers fell back. The council leader stood, shaken but alive. "John," he said, "you have saved us, but at what cost?" John looked around at the damage. "This is only the beginning," he said. "If mercy ends, then war begins." Outside, Earth's ships hovered silently, waiting. The galaxy was on edge, and now, everyone knew when mercy ends, nothing will be left untouched. The war did not come with explosions, it came with silence. The stars above the Council's capital planet were still, but Earth's warships floated just outside the defense perimeter. Hundreds of them cold, quiet, waiting. John Eric stood in the middle of the Council chamber once again. His clothes were torn from the last attack. A faint scar ran down the side of his face. But his eyes, they were sharper than ever. The Council leader stood too. His voice trembled slightly. "Your ships have not moved in days. We have not attacked again. What are you waiting for?" John didn't answer at first. He stepped forward and looked at the screen behind the Council table. It displayed a simple message, glowing in white, awaiting Earth's final command. "We're waiting for them," John said finally. "We gave the galaxy time. We gave it warnings. We gave it mercy. And still, it chose fear." Thirax, bruised and bitter, stood from his seat. "You think we fear your ships? Your strength?" John turned to him slowly. "No, you fear something you can't see. Something you still don't understand. And what's that?" Thirax spat. John took a breath. "The truth." The room was quiet. Delegates leaned forward. The moment felt heavy, like everything that came before had led to this. John looked each of them in the eye. "You call us dangerous. You call me a weapon. But Earth's deadliest weapon was never me. It wasn't our ships. It wasn't our machines. It was never the bombs of the Vault soldiers." The Council leader frowned. "Then what was it?" John paused. His voice was steady and low. "It was our will." Whispers filled the room. "Our will to survive," he continued. "Our will to adapt. Our will to rise even when crushed." He looked up at the screen again. "You can destroy a city. You can burn a world. But you cannot erase a will like that." Thirax shook his head. "You expect us to believe that? That a mindset is stronger than fleets?" "Yes," John said. "Because fleets rust. Weapons break. But the human spirit? It learns. It remembers." He stepped toward the Council table. "When Earth was on fire, we didn't pray for rescue. We crawled through the ash. When invaders came, we didn't beg. We built weapons from scrap. When you tried to erase us, we became something stronger than you ever imagined." The room was still. "I am not here to threaten," John said. "I am here to remind you. You can't destroy a species whose deadliest weapon lives in every one of them." The Council leader looked down. Then, "What do you want from us?" John walked slowly toward him, but his voice remained calm. "We want peace, true peace, not silence under your control, not forced treaties. We want freedom to grow, to defend, to be left alone if that is what we choose." The leader asked quietly, "And if we say no?" John turned back to the screen. He raised his wrist and opened a channel. "Command control." "Status?" A voice replied through the chamber. "Awaiting launch order. All systems green." Gasps spread through the room. Thirax stepped back. "You wouldn't." John raised his hand slightly, then lowered it. "Stand down," he said into the mic. Confirmed. Standing down, no action taken. The room exhaled all at once. John looked around. "I don't want to destroy the galaxy. I want it to understand us." The Council leader spoke softly. "And what if we try again? What if others come? Others who do not care about peace?" John's face grew cold. "Then they will learn, like you almost did, what it means to face a world that doesn't give up." The leader nodded. For the first time, he bowed his head, not in fear, but in understanding. "You win, John Eric, or maybe you always did." John stepped away. Earth never wanted to win. We just wanted to survive." As he walked toward the exit, the chamber stood silent. No one stopped him. No one argued. Outside, Earth's fleet slowly began to turn, one by one. The warships disappeared into the black dot. No shots fired. No cities burned. No blood spilled. Because Earth had shown its greatest strength, not in what it destroyed, but in what it chose not to destroy. And the galaxy finally understood. Earth's deadliest weapon was never a weapon at all.